The once eventful life of 17-year-old Daniel Mahadeo came to an abrupt halt on February 28th of this year after the young man was pinned by a wooden pallet containing dozens of concrete blocks which was being transported by a forklift. The incident occurred at Munishwar's hardware store located at Good Hope, East Coast, Demerara, where the lad had been working as a porter for the past year. During a visit to his Triumph, East Coast, Demerara home by this newscast, Mahadeo recounted the horrific incident, which has landed him partially paralyzed and confined to the bed.
It's some big rocks that we packed zinc on. We was moving into the forklift, me and the driver. I was at the front for balance it on the forklift blade, and the driver he tilted forward the blade, and I was in front, the rock, and I couldn't even run, I couldn't move, but the rock fell on me.
The teen lamented his frustration with now having to depend on others.
I can't walk or do anything for myself. I mean I don't like lie down. I can't do nothing for myself. I don't like depending on people.
The lad's mother, Hewati Suku, told Nightly News that on the day of the incident, her son's employers took her to the Georgetown Public Hospital and left him there. She further claimed that the proprietor of the company made no attempts to contact the family following the incident. Mahadeo spent 14 days in the medical institution and underwent a surgery to reposition the slipped discs in his spinal canal.
He sustained a spinal injury where he did a surgery and he inserted bolts and screws in him. Despite how the disc slipped out. So that is how they had to fit it in back and insert the screws to hold it in place.
A tearful Suku lamented that during her quest for justice, she attended 2 meetings at the Ministry of Labor, which according to her were not fruitful.
Anyway, yesterday they kept a meeting at Ministry of Labor between myself and Mr. Munishwar, and he was like very abusive, I will say. And the staff at the Ministry of Labor, they didn't want to listen to me yesterday, so I had asked if I can't say a word. Right? Anyway, and I said, well, I'm looking for whatever compensation they're going to compensate my son. He said he can't do that. The NIS will have to do that.
A report was also made to the Vigilance Police Station, the woman said. Suku alleges that although the company has maintained that the National Insurance Scheme should cover some of the costs of Mahadeo's medical expenses, upon checking, NIS has no records of any payments made by Munishwar's hardware store on behalf of her son. Meanwhile, proprietor of the company, Munishwar Prasad, refuted the claims made by the family, but opted not to speak on the NIS matter on camera. He informed our newscast that since the incident, he has paid a total of $59,000 for a magnetic resonance imaging MRI scan at a private hospital.
I called them the other day, 2 days after nobody take my call. I promised them from beginning, the same Monday, that if I accident on the site, which is Monday morning, and I'm going to pay him the full week's salary up front. They said to me, nobody are hungry, they wouldn't come for no money.
Prasad stated that during the meeting at the Ministry of Labor, the Mahadeo family was asked to provide receipts of the lad's medical expenditure so that he can refund them, but this was never done. Prasad's position is he's willing to assist the family with their expenses only if they can provide invoices for the medical care.
But they're not coming up, they're lying on the same night when the doctor wrote the paper requested an MRI scan. They're gonna pay for a CT scan and want to show up next Miami place without a receipt to collect money for an MRI scan, which is 100-something thousand, which they claim they pay 75,000 a night.
When questioned about his staff wearing safety gear, the proprietor said that even though it is available, the employees are not consistent with wearing them. Mahadeo's family say they cannot afford to offset his expenses, which includes ambulance services to the hospital, which costs $8,000 per trip. While doctors have not yet offered a definitive conclusion on whether Mahadeo will be able to walk again, he's required to attend a clinic at the hospital every month, as well as therapy sessions each week. Tamika Rodney reporting for the HGB Nightly News.